Hey everyone, it's Stori here, and this is RP Weekly. And it's a spooky version. It is Halloween weekend, which means tomorrow is Halloween. So I thought, why not make it a themed episode? I'm actually not a huge fan of Halloween, but all these resources and all the stuff that I was finding really put me in the mood, so I decided to do my makeup and bring out my wonderful cape. We're gonna jump right in with Tasks Weekly this week. The theme is Halloween. So there's just a bunch of resources that people are making that are Halloween themed. So there's a couple things actually in the goodie bag from that. One is there's a Hocus Pocus screen caps. There's Ghostbusters screen caps also. So Halloween everywhere. I wish I had like glitter or something to throw up, but I don't. Should work on that. And there really is no other trend. I guess the trend itself would be quiet. It's been pretty quiet around the RPC this week. I think everyone's kind of getting ready for Halloween, and school's probably kicking everyone's ass. I know it's kicking mine. So that's all I have for this week for RP trends. So first up, I have Hocus Pocus. And this one is one of my favorite Halloween themed movies. And I think it would be fantastic to have a plot that's inspired or based off of the movie Hocus Pocus. So I'm going to give this one 3 corgis. And next up, I have Grimm, the TV show. And so this one is obviously, it takes the original Grimm's fairy tales, takes it in how it was written, which is kind of scary and it was meant to scare the kids when they told the fairy tales. So I think it'd be cool to have this sort of plot in place. And this one I would give 5 corgis to. Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I don't know why there's no more P based on it, at least that I've seen, like group wise. There should be one. It's a fantastic show. I grew up on the live action, not the animated. The animated came later on, and so I'll give this one 4 corgis. Oh, my head's falling. Ooh, good. Heroes. I know there was Heroes Reborn, and it only made it through 1 season, I believe. So maybe how it should have been in terms of rebooting. I think it's a fantastic plot, and I really would love to see more of it. So this one I'm going to give 4 corgis to. And finally, for my wish list this week, I have Ghostbusters. I actually just finally watched the remake, and I really loved it, and I think it would be an amazing plot. Whether you have it like where the movie left off, either movies, it doesn't matter. So there's kind of like a university, or you have hunters, like badass hunters. I mean, really, you could do a lot with this sort of plot. So I'm going to give this 5 corgis. This week I went a little bit different, and because it's a Halloween episode, so I have Arwen Undomil, obviously from Lord of the Rings, Salem Saberhagen, I hope I pronounced that right, and he is obviously from Sabrina the Teenage Witch. So this first one isn't really Halloween themed, but I found it and I thought it was really important and cool to bring up because they're going to be opening this blog on November 1st. So, Drabble's Weekly. And it is in the very similar format of Tasks Weekly, only Drabbles. And so each week we'll have a theme for a Drabble. And they have to be 100 words, only 100 words, no more, no less. You can make them kind of a series, so if you have to break up one that's long, you break it up into 100 words. As long as it makes sense, as long as one person can read a singular one and get what the information in the plot that they wanted. They do have resources that you can look at, kind of a guide on how to write a plot for a Drabble. So they have a lot of things. So now we're going to jump right into Halloween themed. It's our HQ, and this is an Atlas OC horror roleplay. It's about a group of search and rescue officers, hence the SAR, SAR, and it's in a fictional woods of Talisville, Vancouver. And they're searching for this missing girl named Angela Maynard, who happens to leave notes around the forest. And actually, it's loosely based off of the game Firewatch and No Sleep, and the No Sleep Reddit story, which I read through some of that Reddit, and it was creepy, but awesome. Mass RP, and this is a horror town roleplay that is set in Belmont, New York. People are getting threats and being harassed by this mysterious killer, and unless they do favors within 24 hours, their secrets are either released or they're killed. Blair Academy RP. This one is set in Massachusetts. It's at a school, and the original Blair Academy actually was shut down 32 years ago because a janitor was he sacrificed 26 girls, and it was very brutal. And now the school has been reopened, but the horrors and the creepy things are still happening. Dread Sundown. This is a semi-Atlas skeleton roleplay. It's loosely based off of the game Until Dawn, but also the movie I Know What You Did Last Summer. Their skeleton bios are really well thought out, and there's lots of information on the plot itself, too. The Nocturnal RP, and this one is a gothic horror, gothic fiction inspired roleplay. It's set in London between the 1880s and 1900. There are OC and canon characters, and there's actually a list of recommendations in terms of books to read or TVs and movies that you can watch. And they also give a ton of information on what life is like in that time period, and some resources for that as well. The gossip blog is actually run by Jack the Ripper. So who, if you don't know, is a very interesting character to have as a gossip blog. Next is Blackthorn Hotel, and this is obviously set at a hotel. It's based off of, loosely inspired by American Horror Story and the Night World book series, which is a series that actually I read when I was younger. And it's like there's, I believe 3, there might be more than that. I only have read 3. And within them there's 3 different stories, and they're all supernatural stories. Blackthorn Hotel has ghosts inhabiting it, actually, but there's something about it that just draws supernatural beings, so you can have characters that are pretty much, I forget their listing, but I know vampires, werewolves, witches are the main 3 that I can remember of species of supernatural beings that you can have. There's a set of rules at this hotel. 1, don't get caught. 2, no killing. And 3, no falling in love. Next I have Hogwarts Heroes RP, and this one is a Hogwarts Marauders era roleplay that's supernatural AU. So the 4 founders created this device to help them locate those that had supernatural abilities, and they created a school, Hogwarts School for Heroes. Students are still sorted by a hat. There's just a different lore behind it. However, instead of years, they're there for levels. And instead of coming in when you're 11 or, starting Hogwarts when you're 11, you actually, all ages. There's a wider range of ages available. So the levels, actually, I'm going to read off of a list. We have Civilian, and this is going level 1 to 7. So we have Civilian, Sidekick, Fighter, Rogue, Warrior, Knight, and then finally Superhero. They actually also have, instead of Quidditch, they have a game called The Game, which it actually has a similar vibe to Quidditch, so it's not too much of a difference. For indie roleplays this week, I have Hearts Driven. This is a selective horror OC. And finally, for notable blogs this week, I have Hired Kills. And this is a selective original character. They are crossover, AU, multi-ship, multiverse, all friendly. And the goodie bag this week is full of stuff, all Halloween themed, and I mean, it is long, and I'm probably going to hate myself later for having to do all the tagging of people I'm mentioning, but I kind of went overboard and I couldn't stop myself, and it is a fantastic list. There's themes, fonts, tutorials, the Ghostbusters screen caps are in there, the Hocus Pocus screen caps are in there, but there's just so much stuff. So many things are available in this goodie bag. Totally take a look at all of them because they are fantastic, and there's more than I think I needed to put in there, but it's fine. So if you have any recommendations, feel free to send them my way. I have one thing on the back burner. Don't worry, I haven't forgot about you, but this week is Halloween. And so send them my way, whether it's resources or indie blogs or group roleplays or RPHs, send them my way. I totally will take a look. If you like what I'm doing here, please leave a like, subscribe. Seriously, hit the subscribe button. I'm going to put one right here-ish. And there's going to be what kind of creature a, a cute pumpkin and a cat together. That's what that's going to be right there. Click that to go to subscribe to us. Pretty please. So have a great beginning of week, end of week, and Halloween, whatever time zone you're in. My name is Stori, and I will see you next week on RP Weekly.